It's almost here, just the excitement level as you see this update and then the updates throughout the state.
Exactly right. I mean, I can't wait for Saturday. Been, since I arrived on campus officially on January the 1st, have been kind of pinpointing to this day where we open this facility and all the renovations throughout Razorback Stadium. And, I'm excited to see the reaction to all of our fans when they pile in here on Saturday. And our team runs through this brand new north end zone facility through the A and out onto the field, and just to see the energy and the passion and excitement of Razorback football fans.
You come in, this project's underway. How do you take it on to make sure it gets done to where it is for the kickoff?
Well, quite honestly, I stay out of the way for the most part. I mean, this was probably 70% done when I arrived, and Matt Trantham and his staff and our capital projects here did a great job of bringing me up to date. We made some decisions from a budgetary standpoint to make sure that it remained within budget. And then the signage you see, I was able to kind of touch and feel the graphics and make some adjustments that I thought were maybe a little bit better for that. But we got an incredible team that was working on this project and did an incredible job of getting this to this point.
Premium seating is the way of the times now. Just everything that went into making sure that fans would get what they wanted when they came.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a premium, and a premium comes with a price tag, and there's a donation tied to the Razorback Foundation as well as your tickets. And so we wanted fans that purchased, whether it was a loge box, a suite, or a club seat in this venue, to have every amenity that they wanted, from the free food and non-alcoholic beverages to their vantage point of the game, to the distributed sound, to the television throughout the facility, so that they have a great game day experience when they're part of this.
Different levels have different themes. How important was that to kind of connect to the past and the future when you come into these different levels of this north end zone?
Sure. Our football program and our athletic department has a very rich history, from the days in the Southwest Conference to now the Southeastern Conference. We've won a national championship, conference championship, been to 40-plus bowl games. It was very important for us to tie this facility to the history and tradition of our program.
You had a showing of the new locker room to the players on Saturday. You had some fans in here to test things out on Saturday. Just the reaction to both of those as you kind of had your ribbon cutting on Saturday.
It was just so incredible to see the smiles on everyone's faces. When our players came down the steps from kind of simulating the hog walk, and they walked in the locker room, and all of them had their cameras on, and just their excitement and the energy they had as they ran out onto the field. And then just to see the smiles on the faces of all their fans, as they were just amazed and blown away by the quality of this facility. I think it exceeded everyone's expectations.
How much work went into making sure this was going to be done by the first kickoff?
We have been sprinting here, especially in the last 4 to 6 weeks, and our general contractors, CDI and Hunt, have done an incredible job. Our architects that were on site and our capital projects and facilities team. I mean, this has been people have been working around the clock, literally, to make sure that we were able to get to September 1st with this facility looking like this.
$160 million here in the north end zone, but you updated your existing clubs to kind of match what you did here in this.
Yeah, $160 million is the whole Razorback Stadium project in totality. This building itself was about $120, and then we did $40 million in renovations to at the south end and the club and suites, and then on the east and west sides and their clubs and suites. So wherever you're sitting in this stadium, if you're in a premium area, you're sitting in a seat that was upgraded at some point in time during this project.
How important was it to make those upgrades to that part of the stadium to match what you were trying to do with the north end?
Sure. Well, you're asking people wherever they're sitting in a premium area it's, again, we'll talk about a premium. There's a premium price tag, and the donation is tied to the Razorback Foundation. So you want to make sure they have a great experience and feel really, really good about their experience. And so the stadium, as I understand it, was in need of updating throughout, and we were able to accomplish that through this project.
You've seen basketball, big crowds. You've seen baseball, big crowds. What do you think it's going to be like for you, your first game day on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm sure that it's going to be something that I have never experienced before. I mean, I've had the hair stand up on the back of my neck at Bud Walton Arena calling the Hogs at midcourt, and then, of course, at Baum Stadium, and even in Omaha, where 20,000 Razorback fans were there. But I've been looking forward to this experience in September 1st, and had this date circled on my calendar. I can't wait to be here and hear our fans here in this venue call the Hogs as we start the Chad Morris here on Saturday.
What it took to get it done?
Well, like anything, it takes a lot of folks. We have a lot of people from our general contractors of CDI and Hunt Construction to our architects, Populous and Polk Stanley, to a number of our university facility management and our own athletic facility staff that have worked hard to get to this day. We've still got a little touch-up, won't be much, we're a little bit of paint that we're going to be doing leading up to game day, but for the most part, we're ready. We're ready to go, and we're excited what we're going to be able to show our fans.
A lot of work to get it done to this point to be ready for Saturday.
It has. It's been, if you recall, it was probably December 2016 when we took down the existing Broyles Center and all of those facilities to then get to this point where we open up. It takes a lot of meetings. It takes a lot of good weather. There's a number of things that you can't control in these type of projects, like weather, like materials being delayed, whatever the case. And really our folks worked hard to handle any adversity that might come along the way and just focus on the end result, which is being done by September 1st, and we made it.
How excited is the athletic department to debut it on Saturday?
Well, you got our team got to see the locker room for the first time this past Saturday. Video looked like they were pretty excited about that. It's certainly a lot more space than what they've had. It certainly would appeal from a recruiting standpoint, and it's functional. There was a real emphasis on the design of this entire 315,000 square feet that was added with our north end zone to focus on functionality and how it could help game day for all fans, how it could be very functional and appealing to our patrons that purchase into these various clubs and different seating types of the north end zone. And we feel like we accomplished our goal.
You had a ribbon cutting Saturday, had some fans in here, the reaction that they had when they were in.
The reaction seemed really good. Feedback was common of beyond our expectations. You know, it's difficult in these projects too, where you, especially in interior spaces where you've only seen a picture, and it's not uncommon for a picture to change quite a bit between design and final product. And for the most part, all our spaces reflect what they saw. And I think seeing that live, real, in color, I think folks were blown away at what they saw.
Fans, how important were the different themes you guys came up with for each part of this north end zone?
Well, it's interesting because through that process we had a number of various topics that we talked about, all trying to feed to our Razorback history, our legacy, certainly the mascot of our Razorback, and just things that we know and folks would embrace as part of our history. And so when you get to our clubs, our touchdown club here on this bottom level has focused on some great touchdowns moments in football. We've also gone to our SEC club, which is our, you know, we're in the SEC and we're proud of that, and we show that in that experience. Our 64 club was related to our football national championship, and then we touched on our Southwest Conference history up in a lounge space on our top suite level. We also went into our existing clubs. We changed those. Our East Indoor is now the Capital Club. What you'll see in there are reflective of what's in the Little Rock, our capital city. Then you go to the South Outdoors, now the Cardinal Club, and that's reflective of images of our institution around campus. And then if you go upstairs to the South Indoor, it's now the Diamond Club, which is obviously a symbol on our state flag. We got a diamond mine here in the state and the Diamond Lakes down around Central Arkansas. So we were very intentional about what we wanted to reflect within this cathedral football in the state of Arkansas, and we wanted to be reflective of our state.
How important was it to do those updates to those clubs to not let that kind of fall to this, you know, where everything was updated inside the state?
Well, you know, it's important when you're building new and folks are now going to experience a new space. It was important that we go into our existing premiums and dress those up and have that feel like a new experience for those folks too. And we think we've accomplished that. Folks will be excited about what they see in those spaces when they come. And we've had some of our suite holders in the existing suites. We also updated there, and we've had those folks commonly say it feels like it's a whole new space. So we accomplished that goal as well.
Well, I think for the most part, all the design and everything was laid out, the locker and obviously some of the graphics in the areas. I think you can see that we had some input in that. I mean, I kind of went back as I went through there. Y'all probably had the same response that I did, and our kids did, was wow. You know, I had a fortunate to, you know, Hunter and I went over earlier in the week and walked it, and that's the first time I'd been back in it since February, and I was blown away last Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever day it was. And even to go back in there Saturday and to go through the hog walk and do everything, just a simulated game. A lot of the players, especially the older guys, like, you know, why aren't we going through the hog walk? Why aren't we do, you know, how does this work in? And I said, because we don't want Saturday to be the first day that you see this opportunity, to see this facility. But when they got in there, it was just like y'all were. It was like, wow, this is a game changer. You know, just seeing pictures and the videos of what the finished product was going to look like didn't do it justice until you walked in there and saw the expression on our players' faces and seeing them videoing and jumping up and down and just talking about, you know, how great this place is. And so, and then to be able to exit out and go through the club level, touch the state of Arkansas, the big monument stone there, the one Arkansas, the one Razorback stone, symbolizes, you know, as I shared with them as we got gathered right around that stone before we walked out for the Beanie Bowl, was that, you know, just remember we impact a lot of lives in this state, and by touching this stone symbolize our ability to lock arms as one Razorback as we take this field. And so I thought it was very, you know, if they had asked before they even had the drawings, if they had asked what you would have wanted, I mean, they did a great job with it. Let me just share with you that.
I mean, it's outstanding. I mean, that's what you look at, and you know, certainly, you know, it was done right. I mean, it's big time. There's no question about that, and certainly those kind of things help you in recruiting. Hopefully, the players, you know, feel really good about it. You know, but ultimately, you know, you got to have facilities. You got to have facilities to be able to recruit, and you know, I don't think players around the country will go in a better game day locker room than we've got here at Arkansas. It's impressive, far more than I envisioned before I walked in it, and you know, I think our players feel good about it. But you know, that's not going to last long. We got to get ready when we get in there and get dressed. We got to get ready to go play a football game.
And that place was unbelievable. The new north end zone was, you know, you walked in from hog walk, the mock hog walk we did, and walking into that locker room for the first time, just to hear the players' reaction. And I mean, there's a lot of hooting and hollering and look at this and look at that going on. So it's very nice. It's very nice. And for a recruiting standpoint, it's a game changer. You know, to be able to take guys over there and show them what their game day locker room will be like, with their nameplates on there and where they're from. I mean, it's first class. It's a beautiful facility, and can't wait to break it out this week.